Hi, I'm Adam Gibbs of Sport Fight X. I'm coming to you today. We just wrapped up our big show in Huntsville, Alabama, the Wilhite versus Clemens, a couple of weeks ago. We got a lot of people that we'd like to thank, a lot of the fighters out there that had an outstanding performance. We've got some sponsors I'd like to go over with you. Mega Tire, Window World, Riviera Fitness, and Rocket Harley Davidson. Those guys were excellent to work with, and we really appreciate everything they did in helping us with that show. And we look forward to coming back to Huntsville and working with you again. Over the course of the next year, we got a couple of ideas that we're going to roll out. The big show that we had, like the Huntsville, Alabama show, that show is probably going to go to an all-pro show wherever it lands, where Huntsville, Birmingham, or different places like that. But we're going to do another thing that we're working on, and we're putting it together right now as we speak. It would be a smaller show that would come into some smaller towns and smaller venues, and that would be called the Sport Fight X Warrior Series. We'd be looking for some upcoming guys to bring back to the bigger show that we have. Probably a lot of amateur guys that are looking to fight their way into a bigger organization. That's the kind of guys that we'd be looking for. And like I say, some smaller venues and some smaller towns maybe would produce a larger fan base, and then some upcoming fighters as well. So we're looking forward to that. We're really working on trying to, to make the women's division for Sport Fight X a lot deeper than what it is. If you have some female fighters out there looking to get on the show, we're really trying to find some girls and to try to build that division up. No matter what weight class they are, we're really working on that. We think that will work out good for us. I'd like to cover just a couple of things as far as the Sport Fight X fight that we had. Again, the Wilhite versus Clemens. It was Saturday, March 24th. Everything went great. We appreciate all the fighters and fans that came out and attended that event. Some of the fights that we had were Molly Richardson. She took on Anna Rochelle Smith. Those girls, that was an amateur debut for both of them. They performed very well, went into 3 rounds, and we appreciate everything they did, and we wish them the best of luck with their careers in the future. Some of the other ones were Josh Jarrett had a big win over Morris Ginyard. Josh Jarrett was a huge underdog in that fight. Morris Ginyard had lots more fights than what he did. But Josh Jarrett went out and he pulled out the win in the first round, and he did an excellent job there. Let's see. Keaton Wood took on Wes Baugh. Wes Baugh was a guy from Arab, Alabama. He's a very good wrestler. He fought a guy from Atlanta. Keaton Wood, he's from Alabama originally. He's been training with the American Top Team now. But both those guys had a good performance, but Keaton Wood pulled out the win there. Let's see. Craig McAlpine versus Eder Nieto. Craig McAlpine is a guy from Birmingham, from the Cage MMA. He defeated the Riviera Fitness guy, and that was a good fight as well. Jason Sanderson had a big win over Jake Mears. Jason Sanderson probably needs to fight some tougher guys for us in the future. He's a guy that's probably a little more advanced in that division. Maybe we could look at turning him pro in the future. Let's see, Josh Sinkbell had a big win over Morris Tunstall. That fight was probably the best fight of the night. I think Josh Sinkbell, he's fought for us 3 times now. He's always an exciting fighter, and we look forward to the day that he comes off of his football career and goes into professional MMA so we could use him. I think that guy has a lot of potential, and we look forward to working with him in the future as well. Matt Ward versus Matt Polino. That fight got canceled due to the fact that Polino came in 15 pounds overweight and didn't have his blood work in order. That was a big heartbreaker for Matt Ward. That would have been a real good fight because Polino was a former 2-time All-American Greco-Roman wrestler, and he'd fought at wrestling in college too. So that fight would have been a good fight, but it just didn't pan out for us. Moving into the pros, David McAfee had a real quick big win over Chris Kraft. That was a fight that we was hoping that would have lasted a little bit longer than it did, but it was just it just didn't go the way that everybody thought it would. Sasuke Zapata defeated Paul Gardner. Paul Gardner's a guy from Nashville MMA. He's fought. He had a real good record. He was like 3-1. Sasuke Zapata walked right through him in the first round. The Matt Vaughn versus Steve Hall fight was probably a tough fight for Vaughn. They had pretty likewise records, but Steve Hall Matt Vaughn didn't have much to show for him, and Steve Hall had an excellent performance, and we look forward to using him in the future as well. Will Kuhn defeated Matt Smart. Both of those guys had real big like a resume as far as like what kind of fights that they'd had in the past, and both of those guys were real good. And I actually thought that Matt Smart was going to pull off the win in the first round, but it wound up going in like the second or third round, and Will Kuhn from X3 Sports in Atlanta won that fight. The main event fight was not was a good fight for Stephen Wilhite. He fought a guy in J.C. Clemens. J.C. Clemens had a record of like 25 wins and 5 losses. This guy's fought all over Kentucky, Tennessee, and he had a real good record. Stephen Wilhite walked right through him. Stephen Wilhite has a big fan base, and Stephen did a real good job, and we'd like to congratulate him on his first professional win. That was his debut fight, and he did an excellent job. We've got a couple things, again, that's coming out. We're thinking about doing a 185 Grand Prix, which would be like have a big purse at the end of the Grand Prix. We're trying to put that together now. Maybe we can come up with that in the next couple of days. Again, I'm Adam Gibbs of Sport Fight X. We appreciate each and every one of you for coming out to the fight. Fighters, fans, sponsors, anybody that had anything to do with that fight. It was a great event. It was the first Alabama professional show, and the Alabama Athletic Commission, they did a real good job too, and we appreciate everything they done. We'll see you next show.